Uruguay against Brazil. Either way, it's got a real mouth-watering ring about it, because whilst this tournament is always dominated by Brazil and Argentina, Uruguay are the joint most winners with Argentina. Brazil languishing some 6 Copa Americas behind Uruguay and Argentina. They're both on 15 to Brazil's 9. So Brazil have got some catching up to do. But when it comes down to form, put Brazil and Argentina to one side, because this Colombian side and that Uruguayan side are in scintillating form. And if it is those two that come together, we're in for a treat on Saturday night. It is 0-0 here, 2.5 minutes gone. Brazil have won a free kick. Rodrigo's gone scampering forward and he's been stopped in his tracks by Jefferson Lerma, who needs to tread carefully. He's one of the players on a yellow card, the Crystal Palace man. Glorious sunshine on the far side of the pitch. Darkened shade on this near side, which is where Brazil have the ball at the moment. Carried forward by Paquetá, who wins a throw-in right down in the corner by the corner flag on this near side, the Brazil right. We'll keep a close eye on the other game in the group, Costa Rica against Paraguay. Paraguay out. Oh, there was a back pass there from Davison Sanchez, and it was a 2-yard pass back to his goalkeeper from just outside the 6-yard box, and he almost overhit it. Camila Vargas had to readjust. Here come Brazil. Good running by Rodrigo. Tries to get the ball into the box, and it's turned back by Rafina to the edge of the penalty area. Bruno Guimaraes gets it wide again to Rafina on the right-hand side. 2 defenders making it difficult for him, and it came off of James Rodriguez. It touched Rafina last, and with 3 3/4 minutes on the clock, it's Brazil 0, Colombia 0, and a goal kick to Colombia. You're listening to audio commentary coverage of Brazil against Colombia from the Levi's Stadium, the impressive Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, where it's been a glorious sunny day, and it's still a glorious sunny night, but the shade is gradually setting upon the pitch from this near side. That casting shadow has already stretched further across the pitch since the kick-off just 4 minutes ago. Colombia in their black shirts and black shorts tonight. They've been in great form. They've won their last 2 games. They've scored 5 goals in the process. Remember, Paraguay out. Costa Rica require something of a snooker tonight. They need to turn over a 6-goal swing, win, and Brazil lose. So just a draw would be enough for Brazil to be guaranteed a place in the quarter-finals. But I'm sure it's high up on the agenda, the need to avoid playing against Uruguay on Sunday and playing Panama instead. Las Vegas will be the destination for that game against Uruguay. Whoever these 2 teams are that finish top, which one will it be? There's not a lot going on at the moment. There was a little break in play, and I can tell you that Costa Rica have taken the lead after just 3 minutes. Francisco Calvo, and they've got that 6-goal swing that they need, and that's a pretty bright start, isn't it? Francisco Calvo's goal after just 3 minutes. Paraguay, who have lost both their games so far, could be going home without a whimper, without a point. Behind already today. Costa Rica are winning. They are at the moment a point behind Brazil. They require Brazil to lose, and then the 6-goal swing. Here come Colombia, looking to do Costa Rica a small favour. Cutting inside from the left-hand side. It's good running by Arias over to the right-hand side, and James Rodriguez, the outside of the right boot, plays it back to Jefferson Lerma, who is found James Rodriguez, and James Rodriguez is brought down, and he's brought down by Paquetá, and Paquetá receives a yellow card, and he will miss. Was it? I don't think it was Paquetá, actually. It was Vinicius Junior who lifted a hand. If that's a yellow card for Vinicius Junior or for Paquetá, well, it should be Vinicius Junior unless Paquetá has said something. Vinicius Junior has just been receiving a yellow card, and he misses the next match. That is a massive early blow for Brazil. They are likely to go through. Whether they're playing Uruguay or Panama on Sunday, they will be doing it without their star man Vinicius Jr., who picks up his second yellow card in the competition, the Real Madrid man, bringing down James Rodriguez. So a free kick, he's up after a little spot of treatment, Rodriguez. This is a long way out, it's right of centre, but maybe perfectly placed for that wonderful left wand that is James Rodriguez. He can hit these, that's for sure. He used to play on Merseyside for Everton, so Alisson would have faced him in a Merseyside derby, and he hits one, and Alisson has to help it over the bar. Well, he went up, Alisson, and either came off his fingertips or it grazed the bar. Let's have another look. James Rodriguez over the wall. Oh, it's the bar that it's been hit. Oh, it was very close. Just having a look from the angle behind the goal. Grazes the bar on its way over. And James Rodriguez, that was a thumping free kick, and a very good one at that. Grazes the crossbar on its way over. He was a beaten goalkeeper there, Alisson. And Brazil were lucky. But Brazil just need to be a little wary, because after 7 minutes in the other game, it's now Costa Rica 2, Paraguay 0. Josimar Alcocha has scored a second goal. Remember, they need that 6-goal swing. They're going the right way around it, aren't they, at the moment? 2-0. Wow. Could do with a goal here. We haven't had one, but we've just seen the shot from the free kick graze the crossbar from James Rodriguez. Here come Brazil. Rodrigo into the penalty area. Headed away by Davinson Sanchez, comes out to the edge of the penalty area. It's hit by Paquetá, wasn't hit particularly well, and Colombia have managed to clear their lines. They're going to be challenged for sure today by that front three of Rafinha, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo. Oh, Colombia. That's a lovely little flick down the line, and here come Brazil again with Vinicius Jr. into the penalty area. Overhit his pass. Paquetá gets it back. Now Rodrigo. No way past Davinson Sanchez. The Galatasaray man wants a £42 million record signing for Tottenham Hotspur way back in 2017. He clears his lines. Good sprinkling of yellow inside the stadium tonight. Of course, both teams do wear yellow, so it's difficult to distinguish who is who. There is certainly a larger following for the group leaders, Colombia. And Costa Rica 2-0 up on Paraguay. They're doing their bit. They need a Colombia victory here, and ideally by more than one. Here comes a shot from distance, and it went through a crowd. It was a lovely hit from Bruno Guimaraes, kept it low, avoided any sort of deflection, and the goalkeeper Camilo Vargas went down. Vargas, and he pushes it round the post. It was going in. It was a save that was routine, needed to be made, bobbling along the ground, got both hands behind it, and pushes it wide for the first corner of the match. That's a decent effort from Bruno Guimaraes of Newcastle United. 10 minutes on the clock. Brazil shading it, but Colombia have hit the bar with a free kick. It's come all the way out to Guimaraes. He's been brought down. And that's going to be a free kick to Brazil now on the edge of the penalty area. There's one or two players out there that can hit a mean free kick, as we've seen already with James Rodriguez. What have Brazil got in the locker after that trip on João Gomes? Well, João Gomes has taken his shin pad off, rolled his sock down, and there's clearly some sort of large plaster covering a wound of some sort on his shin, so that would have taken a knock. That would have been a little on the painful side. He pulls his socks up. He's one of those players that's got holes in the back of his socks. Seems to be the trend nowadays. There's only one man lined up for this, and that's Rafinha. He's in a very similar position, almost identical to the free kick hit a couple of minutes ago by James Rodriguez at the other end that grazed the crossbar with Alisson beaten all ends up. 11.5 minutes gone. Brazil free kick. Could be a pivotal moment in the game. Waiting for the referee's whistle. It's Rafinha. Oh, it's a wonder strike. It's 1-0 to Brazil. And Rafina has found the top corner with an exhilarating free kick. And Brazil step up to the top of the table, and they might yet avoid Uruguay. But Colombia, who have won each of their last 2 games and haven't lost for over 2 years, nearly 2.5 years, are behind in California to a wonderful free kick from Rafina. We saw a great free kick at the other end a couple of minutes ago from James Rodriguez. It grazed the crossbar, but this one was placed strategically towards the near post top corner. The goalkeeper gets a hand to it, but can only push it straight into the net because it's got power on it, it's got pace on it, and it's almost out of the reach of the goalkeeper, Camilo Vargas. He gets a left hand to it, but he can't get a strong enough left hand to it, and it rolls in off the post. And Brazil have the early goal that they would have craved, and it's a quite wonderful free kick from Rafina. And that puts them top of the tree, and it also provides a massive kick in the teeth to Costa Rica, who are giving it a good go in their game. Now, unlike the Euros over in Europe at the moment, there is no joy for any team that finishes third in the group. I know the bare facts are there were quite a few teams that finished third in the Euros that would have gone through with a lot less than what Costa Rica have achieved in this tough group. As Paraguay are bottom, are no mugs. But it feels like after 2 defeats they've thrown in the towel. 2 early goals for Costa Rica, but they need 2 goals for Colombia and 3 more goals of their own if they are to level off the goal difference, and then it comes head to head, which was a 0-0 draw. I'll let you start working out the maths after that. Colombia on the front foot. Luis Diaz, haven't seen anything of him so far. I think it's the first time I've mentioned him. Leaves the throw in down towards the corner flag to Diego Mikado. Mikado throws to Rios. Rios in towards the penalty area. Cross comes in, pelted away by Milasio. And out for a throw. And confirmation that Brazil on 7 points, top in the group at the moment. Colombia on 6, then Costa Rica 4. Paraguay with -6 goal difference and no points would be the bottom team. Well, they will finish bottom unless they were to win tonight, and if they were to win tonight they'll need to overturn an early 2-0 deficit in that game being played tonight in Austin, Texas at the Q2 Stadium here in the Levi Stadium in California. Brazil lead Colombia by a goal to 0. Magnificent goal from Rafina. Clearance away by Marquinhos, who got in ahead of Cordoba. They're trying to keep on the front foot here are the Colombians, looking for a way back into the game. They're not used to losing. And that's a foul on, I think it's Milasio, who's gone down, holding his head. They were appealing for a corner, Mexico. It's actually gone behind for a goal kick. Played just over a quarter of an hour. Rafina's free kick. It's all about the free kicks. 2 free kicks in this game, identical positions, about 5 yards outside the penalty area, just wide of the goal frame. Here comes a ball into the box. It's just cut off there as the ball is delivered in, and it's hit on the volley first time from James Rodriguez. Well, he's a brave man hitting it first time on the volley. It's a good ball in. Luis Diaz played it down the line. Mercado's cross. He was just wide of the 6-yard corner spot, the corner flag. The corner of the 6-yard box. So it was a difficult manoeuvre. It's come across him. He's hit it first time left-footed. It's connected really well, James Rodriguez, rather, and it's flown over the top of Alisson's crossbar, and it remains 1-0 to Brazil. And Brazil are on the front foot at the moment. It seems a quite open game between 2 sides that like to attack. What South American side doesn't? Really looking forward to seeing the likes of Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina and Colombia in just 2 years' time. South America's finest will be on this very same continent in the US, Canada and Mexico in the World Cup. What a spectacle that promises to be. Sun shining brightly. Brazil have a free kick wide on the left-hand side. Free kick. It's going to be swung in by Vendel towards the near post. Good strong header away by Davinson Sanchez, which bounces up towards the halfway line. It's a really strong header. And Vendel all the way back to knock it back to his goalkeeper, Alisson. He was beaten man for that free kick from James Rodriguez that flew past him and grazed the crossbar on its way over. And he was shown how to do it by Rodriguez at the other end. A very similar free kick, but it went in off the hand, the left hand of Camilo Vargas. And the Barcelona man gives Brazil the advantage. They were unable to break down Costa Rica in match day 1. They made light work of Paraguay in match day 2. But because they dropped points to Costa Rica, they are playing catch up on Colombia tonight. Colombia are through. I'll tell you what, Colombia against Uruguay is going to be quite some game if it's Colombia that finished second. They've won a free kick though, Colombia. John Cordoba, big striker, is manhandled over on the right-hand side. That's a free kick just a couple of yards outside the penalty area, but wide on the right-hand side this time. It is going to be James Rodriguez, but it's going to be a delivery rather than a shot, surely. Although I have seen these free kicks sometimes hammered towards goal. It's going to be an in-swinger. James Rodriguez stands over the ball with his hands on his hips. Davinson Sanchez, the furthest forward of 6 Colombian players inside that penalty area. In comes the brilliant header. Oh yes, it's 1-0, but the flag is up and the goal from Cordoba does not stand. Sanchez and Cordoba both went in, but I think it was Sanchez that was offside. Wonderful delivery from James Rodriguez. Let's have a little look here. Yes, Cordoba definitely offside. I've got a suspicion that Sanchez might just have been onside, but it doesn't matter. Cordoba was offside. There's no question of that. VAR are having a quick look, and the Colombian equalizer is likely to be checked off here. Cordoba and Sanchez went for the same ball, and it was Cordoba that started in an offside position just as it was put in beautifully by James Rodriguez. It's a really scintillating, bending in free kick that Brazil didn't deal with. And if Brazil are to keep their clean sheet intact, it's going to be by virtue of a VAR check here. To me, it's offside. But VAR usually drill down deeper into permutations. And having another look. So, yes, I think, well, definitely Cordoba is offside. It looks like Bruno Guimaraes might just have been playing Sanchez onside. Now, Sanchez got the touch, and this is the big thing. Did Cordoba have any influence from the moment that ball left the foot of James Rodriguez? That is why this goal check is taking so long, is that Cordoba was the offside player, but was he interfering? Davinson Sanchez seemed to be in an onside position. Guimaraes was bang level with him, but there is a player in between the two, so it makes it very difficult without VAR drawing their line, and they haven't drawn their line yet as to whether this is a goal or not. It comes down now to Davinson Sanchez, unless VAR can prove that John Cordoba was an active influence in that goal, because he was further back. The ball never made it anywhere near him. I think the referee is just waiting. He might have a look at the monitor here. It'll be interesting to see whether he gives the goal. Davinson Sanchez scoring the goal on his 60th appearance for his country. It's only his second goal, if it counts, from the former Tottenham man. Well, he powered it past Alisson, but over his left shoulder, his teammate John Cordoba just got out the trap slightly too soon. Does that have an influence? Does it have a bearing? The flag went up. The referee's assistant Has every right. It looks like the goal has been disallowed. So Davinson Sanchez denied an equaliser. Offside against Cordoba. The big question has to be, was he interfering? Well, that's a big talking point, and one that can be dissected in great detail. But the long shot of it is Davinson Sanchez has his goal ruled out for offside as we hit the midway spot in the first half. Brazil leading here by 1-0. Elsewhere, Colombia 2, Paraguay 0. Sorry, Costa Rica 2, Colombia. Sorry, go again. Costa Rica 2, Paraguay 0. There, see, I got it in the end. Bottom two in the group, those two. Costa Rica can still go through, but they need a big favour from Colombia here, who are on the attack. James Rodriguez up towards the edge of the penalty area. Luis Diaz can't dig it out from underneath his feet. He's got some support now from Arias. Arias in the shaded area on the near side. Ball flipped into the penalty area. It's a good ball in as well from James Rodriguez, and Marquinhos got ahead to it. And like so many defenders this summer in both the Euros and Copa America, they celebrate some fine defending with the high fives. In comes the corner towards the near post. It was a good delivery as well from Rodriguez. Headed away this time by Milashao. But Colombia going again, having a good spell here. Colombia. Arias sends it wide. James Rodriguez rather to Luis. Luis gets it in. This could be a chance for 1-0. It wouldn't come down, and it wouldn't come down for Cordoba. And it was cleared away from off his toes by Vendel. He went down, did Cordoba, rather theatrically. But there weren't many appeals for a penalty. And it's kept alive by Munoz of Crystal Palace. Scored the winner against Spain in a friendly in March. Scored the first goal on match day 1 that got Colombia going. Did Daniel Munoz. 28-year-old. Joined Crystal Palace back in January. Colombia have really come back into the fore here. Rafinha's down at the moment, holding his ankle again. So there is a break in play. There is going to be a yellow card. It's Mercado that's receiving it. He's not one of the players on a yellow, so he won't miss the quarter-final. Let me remind you that Colombia are already through to the quarter-final, 6 points. They can't be caught by Costa Rica and Paraguay. So Dalva Mercado receives a yellow card. The left back for the late challenge. Not the first late challenge, it has to be said. He caught Rafinha in the first minute. That one probably wasn't quite so bad, but the referee says enough's enough and shows a yellow to the Lens player. Only his 11th cap for Colombia. Over on the left-hand side with Vinicius Jr. Ball over to the right now. That's a good ball, finding the feet of Rafinha. Chance to run at Mercado, who's now on a yellow card. It's a lovely touch inside to Guimaraes. Back out towards the edge of the penalty area. Vinicius Jr. tries to flick it forward from the corner edge of the penalty area to Rafinha, but can't do so. He's closed down quickly. Mercado knocked it against Rafinha and out for a throw-in, which Mercado now takes. He's been caught from behind. It's a late challenge from Rafinha, looking for some retribution, and now it's all kicked off. And there's a big bundle between the two sets of players. The subs have come on. A Brazil player's gone down besides Rafinha. And things just need to calm down here at the moment. It looked like it was Jefferson Lerma that was in the thick of it there. And he's got to be careful because a yellow card and he will miss the quarter-final. The referee's just trying to restore order. And the first thing he's going to do is call someone from the touchline on for a yellow card. By the look of it, he's still trying to dilute the situation, is the Venezuelan referee. So a yellow card for two players, João Gomez and Jefferson Lerma. So Jefferson Lerma will miss the quarter final. So Jefferson Lerma and now Vinicius Jr. as well. João Gomez was the other player. He's not one of those on a yellow card, so he is still okay. The Wolves man is cautioned. Just having another look at what happened. It was a foul on Mercado by Rafinha. There was a little bit of retribution there, and the Colombian bench seemed to take exception to it, come rushing out, and it all spilt over very quickly. The referee's actually done quite well. He noticed the perpetrators. Lerma and Gomez shown yellows. There are 4 yellows out there, 2 apiece, and 2 of those yellows constitute players missing the quarter-final. They're key players as well. Vinicius Junior of Brazil, Jefferson Lerma of Colombia, both out for the quarter-finals, whoever they are playing. Brazil 1, Colombia 0. If you're just joining us, 27.5 minutes gone. Confirmation that Jefferson Lerma will miss the next match. Confirmation 2 that Vinicius Junior will miss the next match. Both on yellows, along with Mercado and Gomez. 2 apiece. It's 1-0 to Brazil. Tale of 2 free kicks. Rodriguez from a similar position to Rafinha. Rodriguez hit the top of the bar. Rafinha scored his goal. It's good play from Marquinhos. Back to goalkeeper Alisson, who's happy to clear to touch. Throw into Colombia. Trail here by a goal to 0. They haven't lost, remember, since February 2022. It's quite a staggering run that are on. 25 unbeaten. They've won their last 10. And throw into that a 5-1 win against the USA. They beat a decent Romania 3-2 in March. They beat Spain 1-0 in March. And they're on the attack at the moment with Arias. To Luis Diaz. Arias again, all the way back to the halfway line, and Cuesta. Cuesta giving it to Rios. Rios to Arias, and then back out wide to Mercado. Rolls it down the line. Diaz is sent tumbling and rolls over 2, 3, 4 times from the challenge from Danilo. And Danilo is going to be shown a yellow card here. He's not one of the Brazil players on a yellow. That was certainly worthy of a yellow, and that one very nearly spilt over as well. Jefferson Lerma, just looking at the replay from that incident a couple of minutes ago, almost appeared to headbutt Danilo, then into him, but he's only got a yellow card for it. But VAR didn't pick up on it. It's too late now. And the yellow cards are being dished out as Colombia get the ball into the penalty area. It's headed away and then lashed in towards goal through a crowd from Munoz. Comfortable save from the Brazil goalkeeper Alisson. It's on target. It's a save you'd expect any decent goalkeeper to make, and Alisson is certainly in that category. Making his 65th appearance for Brazil this evening is Alisson. It's his 4th Copa America. The former Roma man. Joining life at Anfield with Liverpool. Now there's another break in play. This time Rodrigo's gone down over on the far side. He's taken a bash to the head. And this game has half an hour played. We've got 5 yellow cards. It was a very, very forceful challenge from Davinson Sanchez on Rodrigo. Now here come Brazil again. Marquinhos, crossfield pass, finding the feet of Rafinha. Very good ball, but then Rafinha gave it away cheaply. Through ball towards Cordoba. It's cut out by Militao, the Real Madrid man. Good feet from Alisson. Out to Bruno Guimaraes. And it comes off of James Rodriguez and out for a throw to Brazil deep inside their own half. Brazil 1, Colombia 0. 31 minutes on the clock. The shade fast casting over this pitch. It was pretty much a 50-50 split between shade on the near side and sun on the far side. It's gradually diminishing, the sun, which is good because it's difficult to follow the game as the ball switches from shade to sunlight. But it is a very open stadium, no cover here. Crowd on the far side, many of them are Colombians, enjoying the sunshine. But not if you're a Colombian enjoying the fact that Brazil lead by a 1-0 through Rafinha. They've hit the bar, Colombia, and they've had a goal disallowed from Davinson Sanchez for offside. Here come Brazil again. A little bit of a different wavelength between Rodrigo and Rafinha. Having another look at the VAR goal again. That wasn't. And they're showing it again from a different angle, but they didn't draw any lines. I was hoping they might draw some lines to conclude it once and for all. We're still a bone of contention because Cordoba was definitely offside and the flag went up, but he didn't really have any bearing in the goal. Ball never made it that far across. And Davinson Sanchez got there ahead of everyone and headed home. It was Cuesta, and then Ricardo to Davinson Sanchez of Galatasaray. Long high ball in towards the penalty area. A decent ball as well, brought down really well by Cordoba. Cleared away by Militao for a throw-in to Colombia. And we've seen exactly why they are where they are. 25 matches unbeaten for nearly 2.5 years. They are losing here. Down goes Ricardo, and he wins a free kick off of Danilo. Some tumbling by Danilo. I have to say, it didn't look that bad a challenge. There was enough in it for the referee from Venezuela, Jesus Valenzuela, to give the free kick. A little over 11 minutes to go in this first half. Brazil leading by a 1-0, but they've got some defending to do here. James Rodriguez free kicks are usually pretty good. He's ready to whip this one in. And towards goal, and it very nearly caught out Alisson. Everyone was waiting for the cross, and James Rodriguez hit it towards goal, and Alisson had to be quick on his toes. He was a yard out, and he nearly got caught out. He got back just in time and forced it over the top of the crossbar for a corner, which will be taken by James Rodriguez. And it comes, deep delivery. And it's headed away by Marquinhos just as well, because flying off his line, Alisson didn't quite reach it. And then it's returned back by Richard Rios, but it's off target. I think it was Rios anyway. Let's have a little look here at the replay. Driven back towards goal. I think it hit his own man. I think it hit. It was Rios, and I think it hit Diaz. But it hit defender as well, because a corner has been given. Corner to Colombia. Just over 10 minutes of the first half remaining. Rodriguez with the corner. Deep delivery. Sanchez in there again, and Cordoba in there again. It was Sanchez that got the header in, but he was slightly underneath it this time. Just having a look at that line being drawn for the VAR goal. It never made it through to Cordoba, so how is he interfering? That's the decision that VAR have made. But Davinson Sanchez was definitely onside. A green line indicated that. A red line indicated that Cordoba was offside. But he was beyond Davinson Sanchez. It never made it to him. So was he interfering? That's a topic for others to discuss at a later date. But there's certainly some debate to be had there. Aerial confrontation between Paquetá and Sanchez. Sanchez wins it. Brazil have a throw-in on the halfway line, taken by Vendel of Porto. Former Leverkusen man. Only made his first appearance, a 30-year-old for Brazil, in the international victory at Wembley against England in March. I have to say, I've watched him a couple of times last season for Porto. I thought he was excellent. He's a player that's flourished with age, 30 years of age. Can play in the centre of defence if need be, and midfield. Brazil winning the ball back. It was a little sloppy from Cuesta, but as Gomez won it back, he put it straight back to Cuesta. Here's Davinson Sanchez. He needs to be careful. He's got a man on his shoulder. And that man on his shoulder is Rodrigo. Rios goes back to his goalkeeper, Vargas. Nothing he could do to keep out that free kick from Rafinha to give Brazil a 1-0 lead here. Colombia have certainly played their part. Come second half, this pitch will almost be fully shaded. It's about 75% shade now. We started at 50%. It's casting its way across the pitch. Over in the little slither of sunshine is Daniel Munoz. Plays it down the line to Cordoba of Krasnodar. He wins a throw-in. Throw-in that will be taken by Munoz of Crystal Palace. Certainly a key player for Colombia. Been impressed with him when he's been playing for Crystal Palace. He certainly filled in that right back position so very well. But Colombia losing here by 1-0. Mercado. And, sent tumbling again. This time Rafinha tripping him up. They're having a good battle, them two. 5 yellow cards out there. 3 for Brazil, 2 for Colombia. Talking point in the game so far. Vinicius Junior, yellow card, misses the quarter-final. Jefferson Lerma, yellow card, misses the quarter-final. Rafinha's free kick was wonderful. But Colombia have had their moments in this game. They might feel slightly aggrieved by the equalising goal that was ruled out by offside from the assistant referee and by VAR. And the goal scorer was onside, but here come Brazil straight down the middle towards Vinicius Junior, mopped up well. Did enough, Davison Sanchez, and the pace of the ball took it through to Camilo Vargas. There's Munoz, Rios, and Cuesta to Mercado along the back line, down towards the halfway line, where Diaz tries to take on Danilo. Danilo's had the better of that battle for the most part in the opening 38.5 minutes. Brazil 1, Colombia 0. They need to get Diaz more on the ball. And now he's in a position, Danilo, where he's on a yellow card. Maybe that is the chance for Diaz to really start taking a gamble and getting at the experienced Juventus defender. Brazil 1, Colombia 0. Just a little over 6 minutes of this first half remaining. Brazil stretching play over towards the left-hand side. It's a darting run from Paquetá, finding Rafinha all the way back to Guimaraes. Over to the left-hand side now, and Vendel finding Vinicius Junior. That's a great turn from Paquetá, trying to release Rodrigo down the middle, but it was a good interception by Davinson Sanchez. Cordoba on the right-hand side. He's played in the Bundesliga for Mainz, played in La Liga for Granada. It's John Cordoba. He's been and done the rounds as 31-year-old, and yet he's only playing for the 5th time for Colombia this evening. He's got a good goal ratio as well, 2 in those 5 games, this being the 5th. A very well populated Levi Stadium is enjoying a decent game of football between two sides, all but assured of their place in the quarter-finals. So Colombia are through. Brazil can still be eliminated. They need to lose on a 6-goal swing in favour of Costa Rica, who are still 2-0 up on Paraguay. Colombia got 2 goals here and won 2-1. Costa Rica would need another 3 goals just to level things off, and then you can get your calculators out and start working out the permutations and how far down you have to drill to find a factor that eliminates one of Costa Rica and Brazil. But that is a story that's unlikely to happen. Diaz has gone over to the right-hand side, having got no change at all out of Danilo. He's not got much change out of Vendel there. Here's Junior, Vinicius Junior, closed down really quickly by Munoz. Well, that's the ultimate test really for the Crystal Palace fullback tonight. Here's a one-on-one with Vinicius Junior. He's done all right so far. Vinicius Junior has been sent to the ground there. Just got caught slightly on the ankle by Munoz. There was no malice in it, even though he went flying to the ground. As soon as he arrived at the ground, he sat up on the advertising hoarding on the far side and looked over to the Venezuelan referee, Jesus Valenzuela, and said, look, that's the 3rd time that's happened. Looks like he's counting. Well, they did get a free kick, Brazil. I'm not quite sure what else they want. I don't think it was enough for a yellow card. Here come Brazil again with Guimaraes. Wide to Rafinha, but he's giving it away. One back by Brazil. Some dogged determination from Bruno Guimaraes there. And João Gomes all the way back to Militao. Militao, not always a regular in the Real Madrid side, but he's a good player. He's played at the very top. It's a lovely turn, Rodrigo. And an out wide from Paquetá. Here's a chance for Vinicius Junior to go at Muniz, and he goes on the outside of Muniz. He's been brought down. Referee has a long, hard look. There is no penalty. And it's going to be a corner. He's gone on the outside of Muniz. Muniz stood up. Well, for me, that's a penalty because the ball is gone. And Muniz did not get the ball. And Vinicius Junior went down. A corner has been given. And I think VAR might well give a penalty here. Shake of the head from Vinicius Junior. I think VAR are, yes, just having a look here before the corner is taken by Rafinha. Just having a little listen. For me, that's a penalty. Muniz went to get the ball, and I don't think he did. I'd like to have another look at a different angle. We're not at the moment. The monitor's just focusing on the referee. We've only got 2 minutes to go. Here is the angle. So he's gone on the outside. Muniz then stretching his left foot. He doesn't get anywhere near the ball. And he does catch Vinicius Junior and brings him down. For me, that is a cast iron penalty. And I don't think the VAR have any option other than to give the penalty. At the moment, Brazil are preparing for a corner because VAR are still looking. They're having a long look here. They want to get it right, VAR. I understand that. But for me, you only need a couple of looks. I've made my decision. It's a penalty. Daniel Munoz is arguing his side of the bargain, but I think if the referee goes and has a look, he'll probably agree with me and give a penalty. And if he does, there's a chance for Brazil to make it 2-0 before half-time. And they're still looking at this. The Argentine, Mauro Vigliani. And the check is over. And it's not a penalty. Well, I'll say one thing. Vinicius Junior did go down slightly easy, but when you look at it in slow motion, you can see quite clearly that both his legs at some point were stopped by the left leg of Munoz. Penalty all day long for me. But the referee and his VAR team have drawn a conclusion that favours the Brazilians. Two big VAR calls in this game, and they could have both easily been wrong. And they've both gone the way of Brazil, and they've both gone against Colombia. Bruno Guimaraes has now gone down on the edge of the penalty area. And we're just having a look at the lines being drawn. It could well be that Davinson Sanchez for his goal was offside, and they're drawing the lines from a camera angle behind the goal. It's difficult to see because they're all distant, the players. But I don't understand how VAR come up with these decisions sometimes. For me, Vinicius Junior was fouled by Muniz. Penalty all day long, no penalty given. And they had a long, hard look at that, VAR. And then you've got the Sanchez goal at the other end. Cordoba offside, but was Sanchez? I think he was. He headed home. It didn't make it as far as Cordoba, yet Cordoba was in an offside position and it was deemed to be part of the construction of the goal. Brazil leading here by a goal to nil, but plenty of talking points. We have 5 minutes of stoppage time, by the way, at the end of the first half. We're a minute into that already, although the board has only just come out. I think they were waiting for the injury for Bruno Guimaraes to be over so that they could ascertain exactly how long to add on. He limps off. I think he's going to be okay. But just for a moment, Brazil are down to 10 men, leading by a goal to nil. Rafinha's wonderful free kick. It's been a half of many a talking point. One goal, one disallowed goal. Oh, and there's a mistake by Alisson, and he's made amends by saving a shot coming in from his Liverpool teammate Luis Diaz. Oh, Alisson gave it away. Mighty poor distribution from the Brazilian goalkeeper. but boy oh boy did he make amends with a save to keep out Diaz. Got down to his right and pushed it away. They're coming again. Cordoba away to the right hand side. It's a chance and it's 1-1 and Colombia do equalise. It's a fantastic goal from Daniel Munoz. He's done it again, the Crystal Palace man. Scored the winner against Spain in a friendly in March. He scored the opening goal on match day 1 against Paraguay, and he equalises against Brazil. And Crystal Palace's Daniel Munoz makes it 1-1 in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Brilliant play by Colombia, and it's wonderful how he turns John Cordoba and finds that space, and Munoz was as calm as you like, ghosting into the penalty area, and he finished it like a striker, tucking it past the Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson to make it Brazil 1, Colombia 1. Well, this game has coughed up many a talking point in a very entertaining first half, and Colombia, you have to say, probably deserved that equaliser on the back of the fact that they've had 2 VAR decisions that have probably gone unfairly against them. But they haven't given up, they haven't sunk their heads into the ground, they've gone out there and they've got themselves an equaliser. And I can tell you one thing, VAR won't be checking this one for very long, because Munez was certainly onside. He was played on by the 2 central defenders, Militao and Marquinhos. And it's 1-1. Well, at the beginning of this tournament, Daniel Munoz came in having not scored in 24 appearances for his country. He's got 2 goals in 4 appearances in this tournament alone. And Los Cafeteros are back level. And that long unbeaten stretch of nearly 2.5 years, it's going to take some cracking for Brazil, who were ahead for a large chunk of this half. But Rafinha's free kick in 12 minutes is cut out 3 minutes into stoppage time by Munoz. Well, there was 5 minutes added on. We have played 4 of those, add at least another minute on top of that. So we've still got a couple of minutes to go before half-time in this Copa America clash at the Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California, where the sunshine has been beaten down on us all day, but it's pretty much disappeared now. We're having another look at the VAR, checked for the goal. Drawn a line. I don't think you need to draw a line. Munez was about 2 yards onside, and he took it so well. Let it come across him onto his right foot, opened up his body, saw Alisson coming out and committed, and he just tucked it to the left of Alisson and into the near post. And here come Colombia again. This time Cordoba can't quite find a way through to Rios. Chance now for Brazil to get forward. Paquetá out towards the left. Poor ball from him. It will roll all the way through to Camilo Vargas. And now Colombia are back on top of the group, which means it would be Brazil, Uruguay in the quarter-final, which is mighty mouth-watering, wouldn't you say? Uruguay in excellent form, aren't they? They're scoring goals for fun. We've played the 5 minutes added time at the end of the first half. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. And I think this has been a 9 out of 10 game for entertainment. Plenty has happened in the first half, and it's ended with an equalising goal for Colombia. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. In Copa America, the final 2 group stage matches being played at the moment. Costa Rica are at half-time 2-0 up on Paraguay. They need another Colombian goal, and they probably need 3 or 4 goals of their own. As the half-time whistle blows, and Brazil has certainly not had it all their own way. They were ahead through Rafinha's free kick, a wonderful free kick into the top corner, just moments after James Rodriguez from a similar free kick at the other end had grazed the crossbar. And then a yellow card for Vinicius Jr. He misses the quarter-final. A yellow card for Jefferson Lerma of Colombia. He misses the quarter-final. Colombia then saw a goal chalked off. Davinson Sanchez with a header, but John Cordoba deemed offside by VAR and the assistant referee's flag. It was debatable. And then there was a big penalty shout before half-time. Vinicius Jr. went down. It looked like a foul by Daniel Munoz. VAR had a look. They didn't think it was. No penalty given. And then We saw Colombia go up the other end and find an equaliser. Wonderful play by Daniel Munez. One-on-one with Alisson, and he put the ball in the net just a few moments after Liverpool's Luis Diaz almost scored after a mistake by his teammate at Liverpool, Alisson, who gave the ball straight to him but made a save, Alisson, from the second phase. Colombia equalising. What a first half it's been. I can't wait for the second half. If it's half as good, we should be in for another treat. We'll be back for that second half in 15 minutes, but for now, half-time here at the Levi Stadium. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. were for their last group match. Johan Mujica coming on for Delva Mikado, who's got a yellow card. And Andreas Pereira comes on for Lucas Paquetá, who's had a fairly subdued game. He's the only member of this Brazilian squad, Andreas Pereira, who was not born in Brazil, born in Belgium. Coming on for only his 5th appearance for his country. His first goal was in their warm-up match against Mexico in Texas a few weeks ago. And we're off and underway for the second half. Brazil, if you're just joining us, in the yellow shirts and the blue shorts and the white socks. It's the all black with the orange trimmings for Colombia. 1-1 at half-time. Rafinha's free kick, wonderful free kick it was after just 12 minutes. Cancelled out in the 3rd minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half by Crystal Palace's Daniel Munoz. And a couple of VAR decisions. They've both been contentious. Brazil perhaps should have had a penalty. Vinicius Jr. brought down by Munoz, looked a penalty to me, nothing given. Davinson Sanchez had a headed goal disallowed for offside. He was onside. Cordoba was offside and behind him and never made it through to Cordoba. Was he interfering? I suspect not. On top of that, we've had a yellow card for Jefferson Lerma. He misses the next game in the quarter-final. And Vinicius Jr. has a yellow card and misses the next game. It's a free kick to Brazil, deep inside their own half, taken by Vendel, rolls it down the line. Vinicius Jr., poor touch from him, giving it a ball away, and it's a chance for Colombia to try and mount an attack, but they have to go backwards before they go forward. Here's Cuesta, who plays in Belgium for Racing Genk. It's certainly been quite solid at the back. Played over 100 times for that side, Racing Genk in Belgium. But Brazil have the ball at the moment. Weaving run forward by João Gomes. Quickly run through the two sides. Brazil, Alisson in goal, Danilo, Militao, Marquinhos and Vendel. And then Guimaraes and Gomez holding the midfield. Pereira just in front of them. Rafinha and Junior, Vinicius Jr. and then Rodrigo. For Colombia, just watch this long ball forward that's only partly cut out. It's into Rodrigo, can't turn, and Mexico can get it away. They line up with Vargas in goal, Munoz, Sanchez, Cuesta and Mujica, who's on at half-time. Rios, Lerma and Arias, and then Rodriguez, Diaz and Cordoba. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. Here come Colombia. Rios just lays it off into the path of Rodriguez. A lovely ball in towards the penalty area. High goes Danilo, heading the ball away. Brazil eventually clearing to Pereira. He plays the ball up towards the halfway line, but gives it straight back to Carlos Cuesta. Jefferson Lerma sends it wide to Luis Diaz, who has had a fairly quiet game so far in that battle up against Danilo. Danilo is on a yellow, so maybe that's the invite that Luis Diaz needs to get at Danilo, the Juventus fullback. Long ball forward and Brazil on the attack. It's a lovely touch by Rodrigo. Sends it to the left-hand side and Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. goes past a couple of players, but that's a really good challenge coming in. That's super defending of the highest order from João Arias, who got across and took the ball off of Vinicius Jr. And now Colombia can come forward, and they can do so with John Cordoba into the penalty area. The defender goes down, that's Marquinhos, and I think the referee's given a foul against Cordoba on Marquinhos. And they went shoulder to shoulder, and Marquinhos went down rather easily, for my liking. The referee thought it to be a free kick. 4 minutes gone in the second half. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. Just a quick reminder that the situation in Group D is that these two sides are almost certainly through to the quarter-final. Colombia are through. Brazil can still be knocked out tonight, but they'll have to lose. And Costa Rica, who are winning 2-0 at half-time against Paraguay, would have to somehow produce a goal swing of 6, and they've probably not been helped actually by the fact that Paraguay have just scored in that game, so it's 2-1 now, so that probably lengthens the odds of that unlikely event happening. Here's Rios, gets the cross in, does he? No, it took a deflection off of Vendel, and it will be a corner kick to Colombia. Raymond Sosa scoring for Paraguay. They lost 2-1 on match day 1 to Colombia. They got beaten 4-1 by Brazil. This is a very open stadium here. As the cross comes in, and Davinson Sanchez went for the same ball as Luis Diaz, and Diaz might just have put him off slightly there. And it was Cordoba, I beg your pardon, not Sanchez, rising at the back post, and Diaz probably got in his way, and he went underneath it slightly and put it over the crossbar. Another great delivery by James Rodriguez. He does possess such a good delivery from free kicks and from corners. He's a set play wizard. So just to recap, Brazil on 5 points would go through second at the moment. Colombia on 7 would top the group. As Brazil now come forward, an effort towards goal was rather rushed from the edge of the penalty area on the right hand side and well over the crossbar. The ball has ended up in the arms of one of the fans. Not sure if it's a Brazilian fan or Colombian fan, because everyone's in yellow, and the man that's got it's got a grey t-shirt on. He's got a man in the Brazil shirt one side of him and a man in a Colombia shirt on the other. Good to see fans mingling, enjoying their football, or soccer as it's known here in the US. This is an open stadium, no real cover. It does feel like the Bombonera in Buenos Aires, the home of Boca Juniors to a degree, with the stand on one side, 3 or 4 flights of exec boxes above the stand, overshadowing the pitch, and that is casting a shadow on pretty much all of the pitch now. There is a slight sliver in the far corner on the end away to our left hand side. It's still in glorious sunshine. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. Brazil have a throw in at the moment, which Wendell takes. He gets it back as well from Marquinhos. Inside it goes. João Gomes switching play towards Danilo, who cushions it forward. And that's lovely play by Rafina. Cuts past a couple of Colombian players and gets it wide to the left-hand side. Vinicius Junior looks up. He's inside his own penalty, his own half at the moment. Sends it long to Rodrigo, who's running a lone figure at the moment inside the penalty area. Pulls it back to Guimaraes. Back out wide to Rafina. Guimaraes again. Lovely ball out wide. Danilo. First time he's really got forward, and that was good defending by João Arias. And the Fluminense player got across quickly to cut him out with a good block. 52.5 minutes gone. Brazil throw. And it's going to be taken. It's going to be a corner actually. And it's going to be taken by Andreas Pereira. On as a half-time substitute, the Fulham man. He scored 1 goal since last August at club level. And it comes, it's filtered beyond Gomes, and Gomes got a second swing, but it was deflected away by Cuesta, and Brazil will start again from within their own half. Alisson to João Gomes. Retreating back is Marquinhos. Wendell. Looked in control when they've had the ball, Brazil, but Colombia have quite clearly in the first 53.5 minutes of this game indicated exactly why they are a team to be reckoned with at the moment. They last lost a match in February 2022. That was against Argentina. 25 matches unbeaten since. They've won each of their last 10. And they, as things stand, are heading to a quarter-final showdown with Panama. Brazil would face Uruguay in Las Vegas. Absolutely, whichever one of these teams goes through to play Uruguay in the next round is mouth-watering. Here come Brazil again, looking to claim top spot. To do so, they need to win this game. It's currently 1-1. They win the ball back, and they win it back fair and square. They put it out wide to Vinicius Junior on the left-hand side, running into the sunshine towards the left-hand edge of the penalty area. Pulls it back. Guimaraes Playing it to Vinicius Junior, goes on the outside, then checks back, chips it back in towards the penalty area. It's a good line, good bank of 4 from the back line of Colombia. It's volleyed away by Mojica. And then a foul by Vinicius Junior means it's a free kick to Colombia, and we've played 10 minutes of the second half. No change, still 1-1. It was a handball actually by Vinicius Junior. Looking at the replay, came over his shoulder, past Muniz, and onto the arm of Vinicius Junior. It remains 1 apiece. And as I said before, whoever plays Uruguay in that quarter-final out of these two, it's going to be an absolutely mouth-watering prospect. It looks like it's going to be Brazil. Uruguay are one of the informed teams. Colombia are one of the informed teams. And remember, Brazil would go into that game without Vinicius Junior. He received a yellow card in the first half, and the Real Madrid man, possible Ballon d'Or winner in 2024 as well, he will miss that match. Brazil have the ball at the moment with Wendell on the edge of his own penalty area. Square to Militao. Militao striding out. No real press from Mexico high up the pitch. So wide out to Rafinha, who gave Brazil the lead in the 12th minute of the first half. We're in the 11th minute of the second half now. Down goes Andreas Pereira, arguing as he gets to his feet with the referee. Wants a free kick. The free kick's actually gone the other way, and something's been said that has ruffled the feathers of the Venezuelan referee. And I think what it was is Pereira went down, cushioned the ball between his legs, and Jean Arias went in, stamped towards the ball, trying to get it off of him. And there's a bit of a talking to for Rodrigo, whose reactions along with Pereira suggested that Brazil were on the wrong end of an injustice there. It is a free kick to Colombia, and they've gone all the way back to their goalkeeper Camilo Vargas, who plays in Mexico for Atlas. Long clearance by him over towards the right hand side, watched carefully by Wendell. Thrown to Brazil. It's gone all the way back to Alisson, towards the right hand side. Danilo brings it under control, rolls it down the line to Rafinha. Rafinha spins and goes for the return, and he gets it. He's still only on the halfway line at the moment, manages to juggle it brilliantly past 2 Colombian players. And they come forward with Rodrigo. Vinicius Junior into the penalty area. It's cleared away only as far as Wendell. Into Pereira. Pereira looks up to the right hand side. It's good close control from Guimaraes, but he couldn't get the shot away. And there is James Ruiz that wins the ball, and he's away. But the referee has blown for a free kick and a foul on Rafinha. Rafinha's gone for the shot, and he's just had his ankles taken away by Jean Arias. It was the right decision for the referee. James Rodriguez felt there was an injustice because he was breaking away with the ball. Now the referee's being surrounded by Mexican players, and sometimes you just wish a big VAR screen would pop up and show them a replay just to say, look, it is a free kick, stop arguing. They're arguing and defending the indefensible. It's a very well populated Levi's Stadium this evening. It's not full, it's around about 80% full, but it's a mighty big stadium. 2 sides of the pitch, you've got 3 steep banks. Doesn't appear to be any rigid segregation. The 2 sets of fans have mingled happily. There's been no trouble. It's been a great atmosphere. And Brazil won, Colombia won. And it's been a really good game as well. Really entertaining. And there seems to be the chance here for Rafinha. Very similar to when he scored in the first half. It's Rafinha again. And this time it whistles past the left-hand post, just beyond Camilo Vargas. He went for power, and he went for the opposite corner this time. Vargas was leaping across his goal to his right, and it whistled just past the post. It was not far away at all from Rafinha, who grimaces. Haven't seen that ball whistle past the post for a goal kick. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. And if they're sick of the sight of one another, these two, well, they better get used to it, because they have yet to meet again in March next year in a World Cup qualifier. Colombia have already beaten Brazil in a World Cup qualifier. Brazil unbeaten in 6 in 2024, having lost the last 3 matches of 2023, including their visit to Colombia in the World Cup qualifier. They've lost a couple. A little bit of catching up to do. South American group does allow 5 through. Brazil are allowed a wobble and should be okay. 1-1 here. They need a win here, or they will face Uruguay. Here comes a dipping shot, which is well wide of the target from John Arias. It set up nicely for him, but the connection wasn't particularly good. It was cleared away and blocked by Davinson Sanchez, and he played it straight forward inadvertently into the path of John Arias, who hit it first time on the volley, dipping just wide. I say just wide, a yard or so wide. No real problems for Alisson. Goal kick was taken, and Brazil are trying to get themselves forward. The referee was about to blow for a foul on Guimaraes, but Brazil still had the ball, and then they give it away. Jefferson Lerma wide to Munoz. Richard Rios charged down by Andreas Pereira. It will be a throw-in to Colombia, level with the edge of the penalty area away to our right. Colombia coming back with that goal for Munoz just before half-time, in stoppage time in fact, and they've won a corner, a throw of Munoz, and Rios, last touch came off of Andreas Pereira. Corner to Colombia. Scored 15 goals in the last 5 matches. All 5 of those matches have been won from Colombia. They're in great form. It's always a good delivery from James Rodriguez. That one was dangerous, whipping in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's good defending by Marquinhos. It's up in the air. Marquinhos goes up again. He misses the header. It's one really well ahead of him by Cordoba. And then James Rodriguez takes a tumble as Andreas Pereira gets to the ball first and puts it out for another throw-in to Colombia, who are enjoying a little spell of pressure here. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. You're listening to audio commentary coverage of Brazil against Colombia, Group D, from the Levi's Stadium, Santa Clara, California, in the Copa America. Both teams are effectively through to the quarter-finals. Brazil can be eliminated today. Colombia can't. Colombia currently top of the group. Whoever finishes second will play Uruguay on Sunday. The winners will go into a showdown in the quarter-finals against Panama in Arizona. So there's your toss of a coin. Would you rather go to Arizona or Vegas? That's what's up for grabs. At the moment, Brazil are going to Vegas. A goal, and they go to Arizona. I'm sure they'd rather play Panama than Uruguay. These two could effectively play in the semi-finals as well. We'll wait and see. Header away from Davinson Sanchez, drops nicely for Rodrigo, twisting away to the left-hand side, finding Vinicius Jr. Turns it back into Andreas Pereira. It's a through ball. It's a big ask for Rodrigo, and sliding in to turn it away was Davinson Sanchez. He turns it against the corner flag, and it trickles behind for a corner off of Davinson Sanchez's tackle. Corner to Brazil, who need a goal to win the group. Not sure who I'd rather see playing against Uruguay on Sunday, because it's going to be mouthwatering whether it's the informed Colombia or Brazil, because Colombia against Uruguay, 2 sides in fantastic form. In comes the corner from Pereira. It's punched away well by Vargas. Returned back in by Guimaraes to the left-hand side. Pereira has done well since he's come on. His cross, though, was well charged down by Munoz. And then a foul on Jefferson Lerma leaves him face down on the turf. And a free kick to Colombia inside their own penalty area. With 64.5 minutes played. Still one apiece between Brazil and Colombia. Well, you've got to beat the best to be the best. And that's something that will be on Brazil's mind. It's a great carnival atmosphere here. You get the feeling that Brazil have eliminated any doubts of going out. Costa Rica would need to turn around a 6-goal deficit and win, whilst Brazil lose. Well, they are winning Costa Rica 2-1. They were 2-0 up in 7 minutes, but that early hope has faded. Colombia on the ball at the moment. Lerma sliding the ball away was Militao. In towards the feet of Rodrigo, but he can't control. Rios plays it inside, and James Rodriguez is being goaded from behind. Challenge coming in, and a foul by Guimaraes. He was a little bit too forceful on Rodriguez there. Rodriguez stays down, holding his right ankle. Free kick has been given to the Colombians, who have scored 3-headed goals so far in Copa America. It's the right foot of Daniel Munez that levelled things off in the 3rd minute of injury time to equalise for Colombia in this game that is currently 1-1. Just past 66 minutes on the clock. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. Colombia free kick. No surprise that James Rodriguez is taking it, having got up from the injury. Still moving gingerly. Carlos Cuesta's on the ball. Off goes Mujica. Plays in Spain for Osasuna, having played previously for Villarreal and Girona. Flicked up in the air by Arias. He looks a real talent as well. And Luis Diaz, who's had a quiet game by his high standards. One back again. Luis Diaz has gone down on the far side, but they're still coming forward here, Colombia. That's lovely play from Cordoba to set it wide for Munoz. Munoz against Pereira. 2 players based in London. One for Crystal Palace, one for Fulham. Davinson Sanchez gives it to his central defensive partner, Carlos Cuesta. And out towards the left-hand side, and the Osasuna man, Johan Mojica. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. And we're at the midway point of the second half. All to play for. Still Costa Rica 2, Paraguay 1. They will be eliminated tonight, both of those sides, as expected. Brazil only drawing 0-0 with Costa Rica on match day 1, and that ultimately could well cost them top spot. It's out wide to Mujica. Mujica finding Diaz, spinning inside the penalty area. Really good play that by Diaz. He's being chased ferociously by Gomez. In comes the cross. It's a great ball in as well, and it's a good catch by Alisson, who got to the header from Cordoba. Couldn't quite get the power on it, and although there was some power on it, it was literally central for the Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson, and he just plucked it out of the air quite calmly. It was a good ball in, and the thing there that will concern Brazil is that 2 defenders, Marquinhos and Militao, were easily beaten in the air, 2 against 1 by Cordoba. Here's Militao. Out to the left-hand side, and Rafinha. Ball down the line has gone out of play. It will be a Colombia throw. Colombia really edged it in this second half. Heading towards top spot in Group D, which has been a very interesting group. Brazil, as things stand, set to face a showdown in the quarter-final on Sunday, or Saturday for some of us, Sunday for some, Saturday US time certainly, against Uruguay. who beat the USA 1-0 last night to win their group with 9 points out of 9. This is where the business end of the tournament kicks in and the excitement is cranked up. Copa America is not going to disappoint you. As we wave goodbye this evening to the group stages that started as a slow burner, starting to bubble up now. The cream has risen to the top pretty much. Two big guns have gone crashing out. Mexico amongst them. Long ball into the penalty area. It's Militao that headed it away nervously under pressure from Cordoba, who's put a lot of pressure on those two at the back, Marquinhos and Militao. He's not an easy man to deal with. He's 6'2" and he's not afraid to put himself about. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. All the way back from Danilo to his goalkeeper Alisson. Alisson striking it long down the line. It's gone out of play though. It will be a throw-in to the Colombians. 19.5 minutes remaining in this contest. Most of the pitch now in shade. Just a small section of the Colombian half still has some sunshine. Some of the crowd on the far side still enjoying that sunshine. I'm sure it's probably blinding them as it sets down on the near side. Pereira, that's a lovely run, and that's not a bad ball either. But third in the race was Rafinha, second in the race was Mujica, and the winner of the race was Vargas, the goalkeeper, and he cleared long downfield. Very quick ball over the top, and Cordoba was in an offside position. Flag goes up, free kick to Brazil on the edge of their own penalty area, away to our left-hand side in a very central position. And they're not in any hurry to take this. There are going to be a couple of Brazilian changes in just a few moments' time. Savio, who was left out for Rafinha today, is going to come on. Plays his football for Troyes. I know he was on loan in Spain at Girona last season. He will get his chance. 20-year-old. It will be only his third appearance. It's a free kick. And James Rodriguez is having some rough treatment. He's holding that left ankle. It's a painful one, and his boot is off. And a couple of metres away from him, yellow card has come out. I'm just trying to see who it was. I don't think it was Pereira. I think it might have been Bruno Guimaraes. Yeah, it was Guimaraes stamping in on it. And well, that's the first yellow card of the second half. 5 in the first. Guimaraes is not one of the players on a yellow, so he won't miss the quarter final. Yellow card for the Newcastle men. Rodrigo and Gomez off. Savino and Edison on. And that's an interesting one. He's a left winger predominantly, Savino. Played on the right in the last group match against Paraguay. Looked good in stages. He'll go to the left-hand side. Vinicius Junior will go more central, I suspect. It looks like that's what's going to happen. Colombia free kick after that foul from Guimaraes on James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez now playing back in South America for Sao Paulo. Having had a successful career at the likes of Porto, Real Madrid. Perhaps not quite such a successful spell on Merseyside for Everton. Ball is in the hands of the Liverpool goalkeeper, talking about Merseyside clubs, Alisson. As we're just about to see the introduction of Mateus Uribe. He plays in Qatar for Al Sadd. Very experienced 33-year-old. He'll come in and sit in the midfield. I wonder if he's going to come in for Jefferson Lerma, given that Lerma will miss the next match through suspension. Looks like that holding midfield role will be handed to Mateus Uribe. And we'll get a 20-minute run out here. Best part of. In the 75th minute, Brazil 1, Colombia 1. There's another break in play. It's Richard Rios that's down this time, holding his head. So have a little look. He's just got grabbed by Vinicius Jr. around the neck and pulled him down. He stayed down. Richard Rios. Palamas, former Flamingo player. Here come those changes. Borra's going to come on as well. Rafael Santos Borra. And he'll come on for Cordoba, who's put in a shift up top. He's caused 1 or 2 problems. And Santos Borra will take his place up top. It looks like it's going to be Richard Rios to come off. And Mateus Uribe coming on. Porto man, played over 100 times for Porto. So Rios and Cordoba off, Uribe and Borra on. Second and third changes for the Colombians. They've already had 3 changes, Brazil. About 14.5 minutes plus injury time to play. It's most likely there are at least 20 minutes to run on this one. Still Costa Rica 2, Paraguay 1. I think that challenge from Costa Rica has run its course. At Brazil and Colombia can now start to plan ahead. One of them will go to Arizona, one of them will go to Vegas, and it will pretty much depend on whether Brazil score a winning goal or not. If Brazil win, and they will take on Panama. Otherwise it's Colombia against Panama. Long ball forward, Marquinhos let it run against him, and he was nearly caught out by Rafael Santos Borra. Managed to twist away. He's going to play on his near side for a throw-in, which will be taken by Wendell in the right back position. Sorry, left back position. Vinicius Jr., who misses the quarter-final, whoever Brazil play. The coach for Brazil, Dorival Jr., is urging his players to get forward, but Rafinha has been brought down. Trying to keep the ball in play. Did manage to successfully keep the ball in play, but caught an elbow from Muniz from behind. Muniz, the goal scorer, the equalising goal, of course, for Colombia on the stroke of half-time. Wendell back inside to Marquinhos. He's going to hit it right-footed, long over towards the right-hand side. Watched carefully, was very carefully by Mojica. And out for a throw into Brazil. Some 15 yards inside the Colombian half. Taken by Danilo, who is one of the players out there on a yellow card, along with Guimaraes and Vinicius Jr. and Lerma. Ricardo and Gomez, 2 other players that have gone off in this game with yellows. Brazil had the ball just inside their own half. Militao. Run back inside to Guimaraes. Out to the right-hand side, and Rafinha. Danilo. Militao. Marquinhos. Striding up towards the halfway line. Kills the ball dead. And gives it to Guimaraes. Chips it over to the far side. Danilo. Kept it out wide towards Savio. Savio trying to inflict some damage in his first real meaningful contribution to the game. Cuts inside and wins a free kick. It remains 1 apiece with a little over 11 minutes to go. Forward by Pereira, out towards the left-hand side. It's Vinicius Jr. Still trying to tease his way forward. We thought he might go down the middle. It seems to be Rafinha that's gone more central. Yes, Savio pulls it back. Was heading towards Guimaraes, taken off his toes though by his own teammate in Pereira. Whipped in by Danilo, and it's been turned behind off of the head of Mateus Uribe, who's only just come on. His first real contribution. He's put it behind for a corner to Brazil, who need a win. By the way, Brazil are unbeaten in 9 in the Copa group stages. A record is 10. That was between 93 and 99. They'll equal that tonight if they don't get defeated. But they are on the back of a 1 win in 6 in all competitions. Many draws. Carrascal is just about to come on for the Colombians. Not before the corner is taken though. Pereira takes. Punched away by Vargas. Gets good distance on it. It's come out to the right hand side. Savio trying to cause damage, but Mujica, another substitute, stands up really well to him. And now James Rodriguez is coming off. He's taking some physical challenges tonight. He's going to have a few bruises in the morning. He gives the armband to Mateus Uribe, and he'll come off to be replaced by George Carrascal. It's a similar player, plays his football in Russia for Dynamo Moscow. He's only called into the side, into the squad late on because of an injury to another player. And Carrascal gets his chance, his first appearance in the Copa America. 26-year-old coming on to make his 15th appearance for Colombia. Spent much of his career in France for Lens and Toulouse. Coming on for James Rodriguez, who's had a pretty decent game. Just seen how good his free kicks are and how influential he is. And with quarter-final coming up on Saturday, their go-to man is given a rest. They know that they are through whatever. Colombia knew that before they arrived tonight. Brazil can go out tonight, but as every minute goes past, that's just not going to happen. Wendell back by Rafinha. They interchange Savio, Rafinha and Vinicius Jr. up front. You just don't know where they're going to crop up next. And at the moment, both Rafinha and Vinicius Jr. are keeping themselves company together on the left-hand side. Guimaraes has a look up, out towards the left-hand side. Cut out, Wendell's ball forward. It's with Jefferson Lerma. All the way back to Cuesta. Mujica in the left-back position. Hits the halfway line into the feet of Luis Diaz, who's been very quiet. I just wonder if they might opt to rest Diaz as well, given the situation. Back inside by Uribe. Sure, Uribe will be the player that comes in for the suspended Jefferson Lerma on Saturday in the quarter-finals. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. We've got about 7.5 minutes to go. Group stage is coming to a close. There's not going to be any late drama in Group D. It was unlikely there ever was going to be. Even Costa Rica must have not expected a 6-goal swing. I know with 7 minutes gone they were 2-0 up tonight against Paraguay. Paraguay have got one back. It's now 2-1. Ramon Sosa with that goal early in the second half. Here come Colombia. Down the right-hand side, it's whipped in. It's only been partially cleared, and the shot went towards goal, and it was bobbling from Carrascal. It was probably his first touch since coming on as a sub, and it was a bobbling effort. He hit it into the ground, and it took the sting out of the shot, and it was a comfortable save in the end from Alisson. It was a ball over the top towards Borja. He pulled it back. It wasn't great defending by Militao. He turned it straight into Carrascal, and Carrascal should have done better. Here come the Colombians again. Diaz in! It's a chance! Oh, they should have scored! And it was Borja. And he's put the ball over the top of the crossbar from inside the 6-yard box. It's a massive miss from Rafael Santos Borja. Ball down the left, and Diaz finds some space, which he hasn't done so very often today. And it's another scuffed effort. Great ball in from Luis Diaz. You cannot afford to miss them. And Rafael Santos Borja buries his head, his face in his shirt, and no wonder, because he's just missed an absolute sitter. It won't count for anything. but you really have to take those chances. And he should have scored. Header away by Mujica. Trying to turn as Jefferson Lerma. He's got good pace and good strength. John Arias decides to go backwards to Mujica. Inside to Cuesta, just inside his own half. Cuesta, Jefferson Lerma in between two. It's a good charging run up towards the penalty area, but three Brazilian players formed a triangle around the Crystal Palace old boy. Well, he's still Crystal Palace. He's a former Bournemouth player. So plays for Levante. And he stopped in his tracks there. Out towards the right-hand side. And it's a chance to get forward. Savio, he's looking a lively character, but Diaz pops in and takes the ball off of him. John Arias cuts in from the left-hand side to a central position, midway inside his own half. Good press from Brazil, and they nearly got it there through Vinicius Jr. It is cleared away by Mujica. But Brazil pressed in a unison there, and it very nearly produced a chance. See a picture or two of a Colombian fan, or two of them praying that they can hold out. A couple of changes for Brazil. Vendo is off, Bruno Guimaraes on a yellow card is off, and Douglas Luiz coming on, and Endrick coming on as well. Well, they're going to throw caution to the wind here, are Brazil. They're going to go three at the back, and they've brought on a striker in Endrick, who will be joining Real Madrid at the conclusion of this tournament. Only 17 years of age. He is the golden boy of Brazil. And he's gone straight through the middle to try and find a winner. And he's got 3.5 minutes to do so. Otherwise, it's going to be Brazil against Uruguay in a mouth-watering dish of a quarter-final on Saturday. At the same time, on Saturday, Colombia would take on Panama. But if Brazil score here, then it will be a reverse, and it will be Panama for Brazil and Uruguay for Colombia. Either way, some mouth-watering quarter-finals coming your way. Brazil have the ball at the moment with Douglas Luiz, and they're not in any great rush to try and put pressure on Colombia. They'll be happy with second spot in the group. They know that if they are to win this tournament, they've got to beat the best. And in the quarter-finals, they are running into one of the best in Uruguay, who know how to win games. They've won 3 out of 3 already, cruising through Group C. Brazil knocking the ball about inside their own half. Alisson to Marquinhos. Marquinhos striding forward and threads a lovely ball out wide. And here's a chance for Rafinha. A little run towards goal, but it went away from him. Brazil want a free kick. And a furious Dorival Jr. down in the technical area, absolutely adamant that he should have had a free kick. He felt that Rafinha was closed in by Muniz and Sanchez, and it merited a free kick. But instead it's in the hands of Camilo Vargas in his deep pink goalkeeping outfit. Long kick by him to the edge of the penalty area. Danilo gets it away. Tumbling to the floor was Andreas Pereira, and he is fouled. Free kick has been awarded to Brazil. And time is running out as we're just about to see the introduction of Luis Sinisterra of Bournemouth. And he's going to come on. He's going to come on for Luis Diaz. We did predict that a few minutes ago. Been a fairly quiet night for Luis Diaz, who gets a hug from his opposite in Douglas Luiz. Both Luises in their own way, they're not related obviously, but applauds the Colombian fans who adore him. Been fairly quiet tonight, Luis Diaz. He's been kept quiet by Danilo. Brazil have the ball. They have it with Douglas Luiz of Aston Villa, though he's Linked with a move to Italy. Juventus peeling away to the right hand side. Borra back to Mujica. Back inside to Sinistera. First chance to get a touch of the ball. Sinistera's just come on. And a very good season for Bournemouth last season in the Premier League. Sinistera again. He's back in his own half and he's given the ball away. Brazil have it. 20 seconds of the 90 minutes to go. Savio teasing his way forward, trying to get the better of Mujica. But they've got plenty of bodies back, and that was a back pass that Vargas comes darting out of his 6-yard box to clear long downfield. Brazil starting all over. 90 minutes are up, 5 minutes goes up on the board. That's how long Brazil have got to find a goal. Otherwise, the winners of Group D will be Colombia. One thing's for sure, these two are both going through. There is going to be no 6-goal swing. Costa Rica are still winning, but only 2-1. Brazil 1, Colombia 1 here. It's in the arms of Camilo Vargas, the Colombian goalkeeper. Very experienced 35-year-old. They've got 3 very experienced goalkeepers. The Al Nassr goalkeeper David Ospina is on the bench. He's got a record 128 caps for Colombia. Alvaro Montero has been restricted to just 8 games for Colombia, and he's 29. He's the baby of the goalkeepers. Cleared the ball, Danilo, but he can't keep the ball in play. It's going to be a throw to Colombia, which Johan Mujica will take. Still 1-1. A minute gone in 5 minutes of stoppage time. Brazil need a goal to top the group, otherwise they'll face Uruguay in the most tasty of quarter-finals. Brazil lost in their own back garden 1-0 to Argentina in the last Copa America. And they've got some defending to do here, because here come Colombia. Mujica into the penalty area. Plenty of yellow shirts back there. One of them was Douglas Luiz, who volleys it forward. And for a moment it looked like he might be away there, Savio. Savio caught Jefferson Lerma, and it's going to be a free kick to Colombia. And it's a chance for them just to keep the ball, just to run the clock down, just to take their time. And that's exactly what Carlos Cuesta is doing at the moment. Gives the ball to his teammate Mujica, who will now take the free kick over on the left-hand side. It's now left for Carrasco. Carrasco gets it back from Arias. Got some technically very gifted players, Colombia. They're not going to be a pushover for anybody in this tournament, as Brazil have found out for themselves. But that was a mistake at the back, and here's a chance for Endrick. Into the penalty area he goes from the edge of the penalty area. Cuesta does very well to atone for the error. He got caught a bit there, Carlos Cuesta, and got back and put a toe in to win it back. But really, Brazil had a golden opportunity there and should have done better. 3 minutes played of the 5 added on. Colombia within touching distance of topping Group D, facing Panama in Arizona on Saturday. That will be a good game. Panama are no pushover by any stretch of the imagination. They are a half-decent outfit and should not be underestimated. They knocked the USA out. They beat USA. They've got some good players. I suspect that, having seen both sides, it will be Colombia to progress, but football is a funny old game, and Panama will give them a run for their money, that's for sure. They won't fear anyone. Brazil against Uruguay is going to be one big match. Costa Rica 2, Paraguay 1 is a full time. Both those sides can now head home. Got a little over a minute of stoppage time. Long ball over the top. What a ball that is by Allison. Out wide to Savio. Savio teasing his way past Mujica. He's got 3 defenders there. Manages to get the cross in. Davinson Sanchez with a strong header away. Mujica then volleys it away. Trying to turn it down the line was Carrasco. Got a second bite of the cherry. Then it goes to Danilo. Danilo then on the overlap, down the right-hand side, in towards the penalty area. It's come out to Rafinha. A shot coming in. And that's a wonderful save. It's Andreas Pereira pulling a save out of Vargas with virtually the last kick of the game. It came out and Pereira says, tee it up for me. He curled it towards goal. And if there's one criticism for the Fulham man, Pereira, is he put it straight at the goalkeeper, who has to leap up in the air and tip it over the crossbar. Fine save from Camilo Vargas. Corner for Brazil. It's now or never. And it comes. It's a very poor corner. Very poor corner indeed by Endrick. Another chance for Brazil now with Rafinha to take this throw. The 5 minutes are up. Brazil 1, Colombia 1. The final whistle is imminent. This is one last throw of the dice for Brazil to top the group. They need a goal. It's flicked on by a defender, and Davinson Sanchez is happy to loop that one over his own crossbar with a header and onto the roof of the net, but they will not have time for the corner because the final whistle has gone, and that's infuriated Dorival Jr. and the Brazilian players who are surrounding the referee, saying, well, at least let us take the corner. But at the end of the day, he's showing the Brazilian players, including Eder Militao, the watch. The 5 minutes is up and the final whistle blows, and Brazil have to make do with a draw and will face Uruguay in the quarter-finals. What a match-up that's going to be. Colombia head off to Arizona to take on Panama.